It's 5 o'clock Sunday.
Let's begin with a full disclosure. I am a Jimmy Buffett fan. I'm also a fan of his sister, Lucy Buffett. So I will admit that I was pleasantly surprised at the announcement that Jimmy will soon be featured in a special exhibit that will occupy the first floor of the Maritime Museum of the Gulf Coast on the river's edge in downtown Mobile. But I wanted to know how Lucy feels about it, which is why we sat down at a restaurant, Lulu's, in Gulf Shores. It's been less than 2 years since Jimmy passed, so before we talked about the museum, I wanted to know, have you got used to Jimmy not being here?
Well, isn't it interesting? So all you people who work in media, your voices have been recorded for a while. So we get to hear Jimmy's voice every day if I want to on the radio station, right? His radio station's still up and going. And that allows me to be very aware of me deciding that he's still here. And he hadn't gone anywhere.
It is precisely that omnipresence that still remains, especially among his millions of devoted fans, that makes this exhibit a promised addition to a museum that has underperformed up until now. Could Jimmy Buffett be the savior of that museum?
Well, I think it's a perfect home for a tribute to him. Okay? And I think that, you know, he does have a fan base, and even though we're all slightly getting older, I do think tourism is going to come to play because it's going to be something that's really fun. Even if you never followed Jimmy, you might have known he was famous, and so there are people that want to come know more about him, and I think it's going to be really, it's going to a good juicy thing for the museum. Yes.
Though the exhibit is likely to pull in Buffett parrot heads from around the world, it should have a very organic appeal for fans in Florida, South Alabama, and South Mississippi. Buffett was born in Pascagoula, raised in Mobile, and often called Key West home. But Lucy believes Mobile rightly holds a lion's share of her brother's musical legacy. A museum exhibit here would be a natural.
The city of Mobile wanted to do something, which is kind of interesting because I think they stepped up to do a hometown boy thing. And the Maritime Museum works with our history and our family and my grandfather and his themes, and he would have loved that.
Jimmy Buffett didn't just sell records. He created a mood, a tropical escapism that shows no sign of slowing down. So what does Lucy hope his fans and former neighbors here on the Gulf Coast will experience when they visit this exhibit?
I want them to see a little behind the scenes of the Gulf Coast boy that he always was. Yeah. So Jimmy also claimed a lot of homes, and a lot of places claimed him because he spent time in Florida. He's a Mississippi born, Alabama raised, Florida later. But he always felt he was a Gulf Coast boy.